you. We got Corrine Griffin. She's always ready to attack. We got the #1 general manager in Canada. Hopefully we don't have another #2 on here because you're going to be a little pissed. Liam.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, guys? We got Sungwoo Park. What's up, guys? Sean's a cop. He's on the SWAT team. He just comes here to arrest people that are mediocre for me. If he sees you yawning, acting like a biatch, then we have the Elliott Army SWAT team. We can officially arrest you for being a little biatch. So we can literally send him to your address. We got it sanctioned by President Trump. It's going to go into effect. Right now we're doing it a little illegally, but we're working that out. Okay. So no worries. Sean will come out to your house and arrest you and put you in jail. Okay. All right. But good morning, Danny. Good morning, Jason. I see a lot of new faces. I see some people that have been with us for a long time. I see my boy Stephen King down there. And man, guys, today is really special to me because I go back into my career and I want you guys, obviously, the rules of the call, take notes, use something in your life, take something away that can elevate you. Look for something. What's your posture look like? Are you in that offensive position ready to kill it? Or are you in a little defensive position like, my life sucks? Listen, guys, I'm telling you, everything that you want, you can have. Say it with me. Everything I want, I can have. Everything I want, I can have. Yeah. Where does all of that stuff come from, guys? I can have. Where does it come from? It comes from relationships. It comes from relationships. So write that down. It comes from relationships. What I'm going to teach you today is the most important thing I've ever taught. I'm going to tell you why. Because I teach you guys sales, but sales, the only way you get sales is from relationships. And so I don't really focus on this a whole lot. And I don't know how, I have a lot and it's in my language, but I'm diving deep on this because this stuff is honestly more important than any sales training. And it is sales training, but it's really the thing that's going to elevate your life, your career, your friends, your family, everything around you can change if you take the notes of what I've got here today. So, Chris, dive in. Let's go after it. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about an experience that I recently just had, man. I was at the Wynn Hotel. I was in Las Vegas, and my brother lost his iPad. And I might have told two of you the story before, but my brother lost his iPad on the way to the hotel. It had our meeting notes. It had everything. We were looking for it. It showed that it was at the airport. And these people at the Wynn, they're so different than anybody that you've ever met. The minute that we mentioned that they had a problem, they're trained by Steve Wynn to solve problems. Money gets exchanged hands when problems get solved. If you want to get more money, you have to be able to solve more problems. And the person that can solve the most problems on here is the game changer. But you also have to be proactive versus reactive. So write that down. Proactive versus reactive. Okay. Above reactive, so you have proactive and you have reactive. Above reactive, I want you to put customer service, and then I want you to put versus customer experience. Customer experience, I'm going to explain to you the difference. Customer experience is proactive. Customer service is reactive. And there's a difference in the two. And the difference is going to be what makes you a better salesperson. The difference is going to be what made me the top salesperson in the automotive industry for the last 10 years. The difference is why I had a life that most people couldn't imagine as a car salesman, because I did this stuff every single day. And if you do too, even in your relationships are what I'm going to teach you, then you're going to see those relationships grow. But that lady says, hey, Ian, no problem. We'll get it back. And then I just tell her where I think it is in the terminal. They literally send somebody over to that place. She's like, hey, head on to your meeting. We'll get it to you. Trust me. We got this. They run out of the door. And I don't know how long that they were there, but they had to be there for an hour or two. And they brought the iPad back. And they walked into the meeting that we were giving out the Win, and then they said, hey, we got your iPad. It's right here. And I just thought about how cool is that? I was at Southwest Airlines the other day, and I told some of you guys the story, but I was running late. And I have 2 kids at home. I'm not supposed to be traveling a little bit. I did one of those things like, hey, mama, I got to go to Vegas real quick. And it wasn't for fun. I was going down there to meet one of my clients, but I'm like, I'm going down there. I'll be right back. And I was like, it's only going to take 5 hours. But has anybody ever missed a plane? You feel like when you're about to miss a plane, do you guys feel that stress that comes over you when you're running late? If you have kids on here and your wife expects you home and you got a lot of stuff going on, do you know what kind of pressure that puts you under? Does anybody feel that anxiety that starts to flow through their blood? Well, this is the difference between being a proactive customer service person, which is the game changer. Listen, the stuff I'm going to talk to you is the most sexy shit to me alive, but to amateurs, it's not sexy. They want to know how to create more leads. Listen, dumbass. I'm going to teach you how you take these people and you make them fans of yours for life. Raving fans will never leave you. Raving customers will never leave you. Raving relationships will never leave you. They'll never leave you. I built a business that is referring me 20 to 30 car deals a month still to this day in Colorado, and most people don't sell 15 a month. How? I'm going to tell you, but you got to check in with me all the way. Lock in. So this lady, she says, hey, listen, you could just, I could have just ran to my plane. I'm like, she's like, it's over there. And by the way, 45 minutes after check-in, you're not supposed to be able to check your bag. And you know what she does? She says, hey, I'm going to check your bag still for you, and I'm going to run you to the gate. I'll get you through security. There's a big line. We'll walk through the employee insurance. I know one of the CSA guys. Come with me. And she starts taking off. And she's running so fast that I'm like chasing her down the airport. She's like, come on. And she's having fun. And she has this lighthearted attitude. She takes my problem and she makes me feel so good about it that, like, I forgot that I even had a problem. Have you guys ever been around somebody or somebody's been solving a problem for you and that you forget that, like, you even have things going on? Man, she runs me past security. She gets me on the plane with 2 seconds left. When I get to the plane, she gives me the biggest hug ever. And she says, hey, it's no big deal. And she just seems so nice, man. Dude, I'll never forget that lady. I'll never forget that customer experience. That's customer experience. Customer service would have been like, hey, I'm sorry, sir. It's, we love you. We apologize. It sucks. But she would have just treated me nice. Customer service is treating somebody nice. Customer service is important. Customer service is when somebody gets you, buy something from you and you're a waitress, you say, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you doing business with me. That's customer service. Guys, I want you to write down, graduate to customer experience. Graduate to this new mentality. Graduate to what I'm about to tell you, because if you do, you're not going to be looking for customers forever. If you've been selling cars longer than 2 years, if you've been doing business for longer than 2 years, and relationships aren't calling you and you're calling them, you're not attracting them, you're chasing them, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I got a list of 40 calls today that I physically can't make, that I've had to hire a team and Adam and Sean here to make, because I can't even function the relationships that I got coming to me. I can't even function them. But the goal is there's a mentality on how to attract it. And that's what we're going to build today. So we got customer service versus customer experience. I want you guys to think about the relationships. I want you guys to think about the businesses that you go to right now, the businesses that you frequent. Think about any of them. Is there a restaurant that you go to because the service is so good, but it's more expensive? Do you guys pay for premium experiences places just because, like, the service is so good? Do you guys do that, or is that just me? Do you guys do that? I end up going to places that, like, I go to this restaurant where, honestly, I don't really like the food. I'll be honest with you. It's called Oso. It's here in Arizona. My wife loves it. Even if I said that, she'd be pissed about it. But my wife, they know everything about her. They serve this burger to her 2 hours earlier than it comes out, because we don't go at this certain time because we have church. So we go 2 hours early. The chef came out the first time and he said, hey, we can't serve this burger. And she started saying it's my favorite burger. And then the chef was like, hey, listen, I'll do that for you. And she said, hey, can I come every Sunday then? And he's like, yeah, I'm here every Sunday. And he preps it just for her. And the other part of the food ain't that good. But guys, you know what he does? He treats her so good. He comes out and he says, oh, Mrs. Miranda, hey, thank you so much. When I was at the Wynn the other day, I was with this big time guy that he brings all of his clients there. And the general manager of the entire hotel came down and said, hey, Mr. Dosa, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Anything I can do for you. I have your 5 favorite entrees coming out. This guy could choose anywhere in the world to eat, and he chooses the Wynn. I could choose anywhere to stay in Las Vegas, but you know why I choose the Wynn? Because of the way they treat me. They know everything that I've done when I've been on that property. They're like, hey, Ian, do you want us to set the cabana up? Hey, Ian, do you want us to set your thing up today? Hey, Ian, do you want us to set all these things up? They're so proactive to the way that I think and tailored to my experience. When I go other places, I feel ruined. They made me feel entitled. I feel a little entitled, guys. You know, I say no entitlement. I'm entitled when I go there, dude. They got my slippers ready. You know what I'm saying? They're sitting by the front door. I want those one slippies. They give me my slippies. They got my milk sitting by my bed for my heartburn because I'm getting old. Anybody suffering through heartburn right now? Yeah, dude, I'm getting old, dude. You know, I got new things happening in my body that I ain't had there before. You know what I'm saying? I'm 34, guys. And by the way, I'm like a 2014, Honda. No, I'm like a 2007 Land Rover. I'm lifted up. I got 290,000 miles on me. I look pretty good. Okay. That Land Rover's got a lift kit on it. It's got big tires, but that sucker's been through it. Okay. That's Stephen King. He's the Land Rover too. He's been through the grind, but he's He's supercharged that Land Rover. He keeps making that Land Rover better every day. And because he's doing it, his Land Rover run over y'all 2023 Type R Hondas, okay? We'll kick that ass. All right? Don't you forget that, you young dudes, Brandon Sullivan or Sandoval. Lucas, I'm talking to you. All right? He looks like he's 18. I can smell the baby formula on that salesman's breath, okay? I'm just kidding with you. Hey, I like to have fun. But, when you think about this, I want you guys to write this down. People go to customer service for a few main reasons: fast, cheap, quality, luxury, user-friendly. They go for those reasons and those reasons alone. Think about on a luxury brand. Think about BMW. Why do you go to BMW? Why do you go to BMW over some of the other brands? Well, you'll upgrade to a BMW because you drop your BMW off. They have a car ready for you. They know everything about your experience. You don't even pay for oil changes. You're just in and out, right? So the experience is so fast that you're there. Think about Range Rover. Does Range Rover really give really good service? Are they known for it? No, they're not. They got a luxury brand. They're known for luxury, but they're not known for service. They're known for having some shit that breaks, and then they don't deal with it. And it's popular viral videos over the internet because they're running from the service. I'm just being honest with you. Some of you guys are Range Rover salesmen. You're like, damn it, Ian. Hey, you can be the one that's different. You can be the anomaly. But think about 5 places that you go right now. Like I go to Chipotle, but I go past one Chipotle to get to this other Chipotle that's 2.5 more miles down the street. Why? And when I got clients with me, I bring them in and I say, hey, walk around the Chipotle with me real quick. And I bring my clients in and we walk around and they go, yeah, this place looks nasty. Guys, Chipotle has relatively the same standards all across the board. But you know who doesn't have the same standards? The people that work there. You know what that tells me? The general manager has low standards. That's what that tells me. Because there's only one person that lets that slide and he's created that standard. It's the general manager. I drive to the other Chipotle, right? I was with Derek. You drove with me to the other one. And when we got to that Chipotle, you know what happened? He goes, bro, it's a totally different atmosphere in here. It's a totally different experience in here. They stir the chicken up before they drop it on the burrito. Anybody been to Chipotle? You know what I'm talking about? When the chicken looks stale, you need to stir that shit up. Okay, so it looks like it's fresh. I don't want that stale ass chicken. I want the fresh stuff. Okay? But how many places do you go to and they don't have that service? They don't even think about that. Why do you go to Chipotle? It's fast. Some of you're so slow at your service, it creates a retention problem. Anybody on this call that wants to build a really good brand, what is branding? Branding is a buzzword right now. Branding is like, I want to create a brand. Okay, guys, let me tell you what branding really is. I started branding 15 years ago in the car business. You know what it was about? Taking one customer and making them a fan. One customer. Listen, if you can just take one customer and make them such a fan of you, it's going to duplicate into the relationships. I was recently down at Vegas Auto Collection. I flew down there. I flew down there and I have a relationship down there with a guy that's done business with me and he owns these F1 Formula. I'm just giving you ideas. By the way, your job is to get creative. Your job is to think out of the box. Your job is to think, how can I make my business better? Your job is to think, how can I duplicate this in my business? This might not work for your business, but you need to be thinking, listen, dude, this is the foundation of the house, or else you're going to spin your wheels for years, okay, like this. Listen, this is the foundation of the house. I wanted this relationship. Honestly, I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about if me and the guy did business. I just liked the guy for who he is. He brought Andy a Ferrari, and this guy was such a good guy. He was the owner. He flew out here. He saw social media on it, and I was like, man, this guy, I've heard about this guy for years. He's built the biggest West Coast luxury automotive brand in the world in 7 years. I know people that have never, it's what he's done is true 0.0000001%. I want to learn from a guy like that. I want to be around a guy like that. So I thought, what value can I add to this person? Write that down. What value can I add to my relationships? And it can be anything. I thought about last night. My wife borrows my headphones, these all the time. She just started to love these. So I said, hey, I need to go buy her some of these. And she's like, I showed up and she's like, Ian, you didn't have to do that. I'm like, yes, I did. I needed to add value to that. Give. Some people, they just want to take, man. They don't want to give any energy. They don't want to show up and do the most. I remember when I was first starting with Andy, I said, man, Take all my money, like literally. And I'm going to show up at your house, at the gym, wherever you go. I'm going to give so much value in advance to you that you're going to want to coach me and tell me everything that you know. A lot of the times, if you're being coached by somebody and you don't look like it, you want to be coached, they're not even going to give you the real sauce, man. Some of you, I see your face and it turns me off. I'm like, dude, you're so in your head. Snap that shit out of it. Look like you're having a good fucking time. At least pretend like it, okay? Because it's going to make the presenter want to give you more. But that relationship, going back to that, in Vegas, I called one of my other relationships, a guy that I knew, and I said, hey, man, wholesale me one of those F1 Formula One simulators. I said, and I need it built tomorrow. Speed, fast, quality. Build me one tomorrow. He put it on a U-Haul. And I said, we're going to go drop it off to him. I'll be down there at 10 o'clock. We went and dropped this F1 Formula simulator on it. I got a video coming out on YouTube for it. And I went into this relationship with what can I give versus what can I take? Write that down. If you're in a networking situation and you meet somebody in a networking situation, you're not thinking, what can I take from this person? I just had a guy call me, right? And I was on the phone with him. I think Andy made me call this guy. I don't typically do a lot of outbound stuff. And Andy said, hey, I need you to call this kid from LinkedIn. That's what it was. And this guy goes, hey, I'm a car sales tire wholesaler. And he goes, I know you have all the accounts. How can I get them? And I'm like, you're so dumb, dude. Like, you literally just like ruined yourself in one conversation. It's like trying to take a chick home in 3 seconds of meeting her. You're like, hey, nice to meet you. Want to go? You're like, come on, man. That don't work unless you're as good looking as Sean the Cobb. They ain't doing that, dude. I don't have that problem, okay? I'm a strong 6. My money makes me a strong 8. My mentality makes me a 10, people. Okay? Chicks, hot chicks, the good-looking chicks like Corrine, they want somebody with a good mentality, people. They don't want that good-looking guy that's a dud. They're okay with me and Mike Audio, looking how we look. Mike's got a hot wife. You know how he got her? Because he's ready to go. Okay? So think about your shit, man. I'm talking about you can bring this into your relationships. But this kid calls me and he goes, hey, man, I just need some of those automotive groups. I go, man, okay, here's what you can do. You can come down to our seminar, you can meet us, and you can start there. And he's like, but I don't got the time. And I'm like, how did I get on this call? I'm like, dude, I can't talk. Like, literally, bro, you're so down here, and I love you, and I want to help you. But the fact that you have not been on any of my training, you haven't bought any of my courses, you haven't come to any seminars, and you want me to just hand you over your ideal client? Like, I'm down to hand you your ideal client. I've been handed many people on this Zoom their ideal client. But it's because you're around, you're growing, you're learning, you're in the room, you're pursuing, you're coachable. You want to give before you want to take. And then he goes, well, let me get off the phone. Let me go ask my wife and her family and 9 other people if I can go down there. I go, bro, this isn't for you, dude. You're thinking so small. Imagine if you called me and said, hey, Ian, where are you going to be and where are all these owners at? Oh, they're down there? Oh, man, just put me in front of them. I'm going to just, I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to take part in what you're doing. Like, show some interest in other people. Show some interest in what they're doing. Andy said the other day that with his son, he's always like trying to make him show interest. Andy always wants his kid to show interest in like working out and all the things he wants to do. He said he had a eureka moment when he went up to his son and he said, hey, what do you want to do? And his son's like, I like to fly this drone, Dad. I like to ride bikes in the desert with you. That'd be cool. Like, show some love into what your kids want to do. Show some love into what your wife wants to do. I don't want to do almost anything my wife wants to do. I'll be honest with you guys. Nothing. Like, she wants to do a bunch of like kumbaya, sit around and hang out. I want to go to war. I want to attack. I want to fucking rip shit apart. I got no chill in me, dude. But I gotta fight my ADD. I gotta go down to the spa. I gotta hang out. I gotta have small talk with all these people, all the girls, all of her little buddies. I gotta look interesting.
You love that shit.
Yeah, dude. I gotta convince my face not to look like a diaper. I gotta convince my face to look like I'm interested. Andrew Mitty's with me. He's like, damn, dog, that's me. I know. But if we don't show some interest in what they want to do, then this is never going to work. But think about this. Let me stay on track. Think of the places you go. Okay, I wanted to be different than car salespeople. Truly, I thought they were pieces of shit, most of them. I thought most of them didn't care. I go back to an experience in my life with my mom. She got sold a car by this guy named Lamont. And I'll never forget this guy. That's how impactful this person was to me. When you walked in a store, he was dressed better than everyone. He had 2 assistants. He probably had to work his way up to get that. He had 2 desks, one where he serviced customers, one where he closed them. And I watched this guy. Everybody in Colorado knew him. Everybody. He was like the mayor of the town, man. He had more influence than anybody in the town. He's a damn car salesman, people. Okay? And he always had 7 to 8 to 10 customers there, dude. I remember when my mom was buying a car, we had to wait for like 2 hours. And then when we got with him, by the way, he gave us water, he gave us coffee, he treated us really good. I remember the coloring book trick that I teach you guys. I learned from him. He brought me out a coloring book, was like, hey man, I want you to draw 2 coloring pages. And he's like, if they're really good, I'll give you $5. I was like, what? I've never had $5, dude. Yes. I started getting all crazy. I started getting all psycho. I'm about to go buy me some Skittles. I'm about to go buy me some stuff, man. I'm about to get crazy up in here. This guy's amazing. All right, Mike Audio, when I'm a little 7-year-old and I start to cause some shit because I'm tired and I'm hungry, but now I'm on your side and I love you, do you think you can third baseman the kid into this deal and keep him happy and make him your best closing tool ever? Yes or no, guys? Yeah, but some of you, instead of making that kid a fan of yours, you don't do shit with that kid. You don't do shit with that other person. And you just have a very average customer service experience. You're good at saying, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. You're like welcoming, but that's not what we're going to graduate into. All right. I want you to write this down. The best VIP customers are the best recruiters for you. They're the best recruiters for you. All right. I like Nick down at Vegas Auto Collection. I really want to do business with him, but more than anything, I just want him as a friend. I really do. So when I dropped that thing off to him, I had no wants to pitch him anything. Honestly, he brings me in his office and he's like, all right, tell me what kind of business you want to do with me, man. This was amazing. You've made me really emotional from this. I've never had anything like this. Nobody's ever given me anything like this. I can't believe what you did. B2B. If you're in B2B, think, man, think. You should be doing this in B2B all day long. I tell Nick, I said, dude, I'm not pitching you anything today. Matter of fact, I don't even want to go down that route with you today. Let's just be friends. And he's like, I don't understand, Ian. I'm like, I know. You're never going to forget me. Lamont, when my mom was buying that car, my mom said, I'd really like for my other son, Evan, to see it. And he's like, where's Evan at? And she's like, he's at football. It's like 5 miles away. And he goes, jump in the car. Let's go to Evan's football game. Lamont has 7 other appointments. And you guys, I'm so sorry. I appreciate you guys. Your experience is going to take a little bit longer than expected. I got to go to this kid's football game. I got to show him the car. He was so concerned with the one experience, not the other 28 customers. If you guys had that and had to pick and choose between servicing the one at such a high customer experience level or servicing all these other people and making more money, you would pick the one. You'd pick the 20. You'd pick the 20. And then you wouldn't close any of them probably. And this one could be the mini. This one could lead to the mini. This one customer could lead to every customer that you're looking for. But instead, you're just like, Lamont went to that game. I jumped in the car. My mom probably couldn't afford this car. It was very expensive for her at the time. And he starts honking the horn. All the kids run up to the thing, and he's like, oh, your mom's looking at this car. The whole practice sold my mom that car. My mom could not buy that car now. You guys understand? Like, imagine her showing up in a Kia Rio versus like this Tahoe that she was looking at. Okay, she sold. Okay, people? Because the customer experience was so high that literally she could not be sold. All right, there's the story of Nordstrom. Nordstrom used to be really good at customer experience. I think they still are. I don't really shop that much. I just wear Elliott shit, and that's it. So I don't really go out that much. I just work out. I go to the cold plunge pool. I hang with my buddies, and we're literally shooting guns, riding ATVs, jumping out of helicopters, or doing some shit like that. I don't find myself at the mall quite often, okay? But if I do, I've heard about this story with Nordstrom. I thought this was pretty cool. Customer service is so much different than customer experience. At Nordstrom, this guy brings in a tire. And he's like, I got this tire, and I don't have the receipt. I want to return this tire. And this guy at Nordstrom's like, we don't take tires, man. I'm sorry. Like, we've never even sold tires. And the guy goes, no, I bought it here. And the guy goes, okay, how much did you pay for it? And then the guy's like, I paid $200 for it. So he goes in the back. He gets the manager. They come out. They give him $200 for the tire, and then they throw the tire away. They gave him cash for it. I mean, just think about that, because they always want to do the right thing. That they're just out thinking people. They're taking one person and making them many. You guys can think about your experience. Byron Washington's on here. What was your experience with me, man? It was so life-changing that, like, dude, you can't stop thinking about it every day of the day. I know it. You text me every day about it, right? You're like, bro, I got to join the group. I got to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I've been waiting to fucking feel like that. I've never felt like that. That's how I treat my customers. Byron wants to work for me. And I said, well, dude, anybody who, like, honestly, I wanted to show him how I treat people. And that's how I try to treat anybody. Think about your experience. Think about yours, Brandon Sandoval. Think about yours, Stephen King. Think about anything. Stephen King calls me. He's like, I'm probably never going to meet Andy, but I kind of want to do something. I said, dude, here, you're going to meet Andy right now. He's like, what, really? And then Andy jumps on the phone and literally has this assistant in front of him. He's like, cancel that meeting. Push him back a little bit. He's got a billionaire on the phone or Stephen King. Which one? And Stephen King's got that like crazy last name. Like that's like a crazy book writer or some shit. So it sounds cool to say, but I don't know. He's just a savage roofing director, just a fucking running a company. He's going to these next areas of his life. And Andy says, listen, man, I'm focusing on Stephen, dude. And Andy gets in a lot of trouble from his admin team because he misses a lot of meetings, man. Because if you get him on the phone, he just won't let go. Like he'll spend intentional time with you where you have to rip him off the phone. So Lamont made an experience in my life that changed my life. Hopefully I've made an experience in your life that changes your life. Mike Quiroga's on here. Me and him have been close for 3 years since he was just a puppy in the car business. Mike, you've flown all over the world with me. I've invited you to do some of the most epic things in the fucking world, bro. In the world. You've gone everywhere with me. You've gone to 10 cities with me. Cities I didn't have to invite you to. Workouts that wasn't publicized. Why? Because I cared about your experience, man. I cared about you. And honestly, too, you know what you did for me? You gave back the same energy of like, hey, I'll be there. Tell me where to go. Hey, I'm ready to go. Tell me what to do. And that willingness to jump, that willingness to move, that willingness to have that frequency, that willingness to have that urgency is why some people get things in life and some don't. Some people have to sit around and think about things for hours. When I wanted to go out to the Vegas Auto Collection, I just said, man, I got to go right now, and I went. And my wife's like, hey, you got stuff to do today. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is on my heart. I got to go do this. You know how I am. I'll bring back some special love for you when I get back. But customer service, they're just order takers that treat people really good. And that's good. We need everybody giving good customer service. But when you can graduate somebody into a VIP experience, if you have the American Express Platinum card, what do? They call your airline for you. They set it up. If you ever dispute something, they take care of it. They go above and beyond. What happens if you go to an American Express launch? If you guys don't have an American Express credit card, you're missing out. And I'll co-sign for you. I've been known to do that. I've co-signed for everybody. Like I'm just bad. If you're my buddy, I'll buy you. I'll co-sign. I got in trouble because Big Rai, like when he first came on with me, he's like, man, I want this lifted diesel truck. And I co-signed for him. And I'm like, man, I'm going to make sure he pays his bill. Like that's easy. But we didn't have speed limit cameras in Colorado. Here you got speed limit cameras. This dude's blowing by him every day. He's getting fucking 3 tickets a week. And they're sending them back to my house. And now my wife's pissed because she's like, you're going to lose your license because of Rai. And I'm like, oh, damn it, Rai. And I tell him, and he's like, I swear I won't do it again. I know I'm getting you in trouble. But like, it's just like the heart, man. Rai at one time was a customer for me. I co-signed for a customer, man. I swear to God. Because I just care, man. And I feel like caring is at an all-time low. And that's why people never create customers for like an internal experience. Dude, I got people that were buying cars for me when their kids were 10 years old. And then their kid got their first car when they were 18. And they never forget me. Write down unforgettable. You got to be truly unforgettable. How many people in this world, they're just forgettable? Like Mike Quiroga was not forgettable to me. Jarrett Brown is not forgettable to me. Garrett Pingle is not forgettable to me. Jared Tracy is not forgettable to me. Some people on this call, I probably talked to you 5 times and I don't even know who you are. I'm just being 100% honest. I might have talked to you. I don't know who you are because you probably are forgettable. And in sales, if you're forgettable, then you never create a business that stands out. If you're forgettable, you never create a business that stands out. How do you be non-forgettable? Customer experience, not customer service. By taking whatever they perceive is going to be the expectation of their service and delivering it times 50. I remember customers would tell me, man, hey, I live like, my wife will come back and get the car. We'll just leave the car and we'll pick it up tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, obviously what they're telling me is that they can't drive 2 cars and there's only one of them here. Does that make sense? So most salespeople are like, yeah, just come back and get it tomorrow. I'm like, bro, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'll drive it over to your house. They're like, bro, I live 2 hours away, an hour away. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'll go get it to your house. Let's bring your wife some dinner with the car. Let's bring the wife some dinner with the car. Guys, I hope you pick up what I'm putting down, because if you don't, you're just chasing your whole life, and that becomes monotonous. I'm telling you, dude. Honestly, I worked probably harder than probably everybody in the car business. Honestly, I worked pretty much every hour the first 4 or 5 years, but then I started working 3-4 days a week, and I was still selling 5 times the average person, and it just became easy, honestly, because I think I created so many fans in the beginning. I washed their cars in front of them. I would call them. They'd be like, I'm like, hey, how's your car, man? They'd be like, oh, it's good. I'd be like, is it dirty? They're like, yeah. I'm like, where is it? I'm coming to pick it up. Where is it? I'm coming to pick it up. See, average salespeople, you know what they just thought in their mind? Well, I don't get paid for that shit. I know, bro. I know. The average customer to me is 6.7 referrals, minimum 4.7. And the average customer to you is just whatever, man. Like, it's just, you know, I'm calling them on their birthdays. Some of you, Leanne probably can't get some salespeople on his floor to call salespeople, customers on their birthdays. I'm not calling them, dude. I'm showing up to their house with a gift, with a birthday cake, with something special for them. I'm gonna send them some flowers. While I was with the Vegas Auto Collection, his mom said she's super important and best lady I've ever met. She says her birthday is June 15th. Well, you know what I'm sending them on June 15th? I'm going to send them $1,000 worth of flowers. And I'm not telling you to send $1,000 worth of flowers, but I'm going to send her the most flowers she's ever received in one day. 100%. I'm going to send them every hour on the hour. I talked to a flower company. I said, June 15th, you're going to send one at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, bring them separate, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Every hour she's getting flowers from me. Why? Because I just care that much. When I was in the car business, my customers, when they would leave, this is what I would do. And I hope you take this and actually like do some shit with it. But the reality is, a lot of you, there's no way that you can, because you prevent yourself from growing every time. You prevent yourself from taking action every time. If you didn't, your numbers would be rising. If you did some of this shit, you would never stay the same and you'd make more money than ever with us. But some of you, you've even been on here for 2-3 years with me, but I might have even said this to you before and you still don't do it. Like, how dumb could you be? I'm being straight up honest with you. Some of you guys are not intelligent. Listen, I am a dumb ass person, okay? I barely graduated high school. I don't know what algebra is. I don't know what calculus is. I don't know half the shit some of you smart people know. But here's what I do know. I know how to affect the human emotions. I know how to create a fucking big business. I know how to create money out of just the air. I know how to just make it rain on me. I know how to take these relationships and be around billionaires in 3 seconds, and some people can't get on the phone with them their whole lives. I know how to do that shit. That shit's way more important, because you know why? If somebody tells me something, intelligence is the speed that you can learn. It's not what you learn. It's like, if I tell you something and you learn it right now, you're the smartest son of a bitch in the room. But if we got to tell you 14 times, you're just dumb. And I don't know how to fix dumb. I'm just being honest with you. That's kind of negative, but it's the truth. It's the truth, okay? You know, some of you now are looking at me like, damn, man, that's me. It's okay. Hey, the first step to changing is acknowledging it, all right? I'm dumb, okay? Until I started becoming smart, and when I heard something good, I executed. Everybody write down execute. Circle it 5 times. All right, now write down one idea real quick. Let's pause. Write down one idea that you can use in a relationship, in a friendship, in a business relationship, in something. Write down something that you can use, okay? You can pick your ideal client. You can pick your ideal client, whoever it is, your ideal business partnership. What does that person need? What do they want? Everybody write down value in advance. Value in advance. Value in advance. If you give so much more value, reciprocity. If you give reciprocity before you ever ask for something, it's like having a bank account full of money and you can just always withdraw it. If you feel like there's not that in the relationship with your customers, because you're not creating it. What I was going to say is, when I was in the car business and a customer would go to leave, I did this every time. Every time. If you don't do this every time, again, what would that make you? An idiot. Because if I sold 60, 70 cars a month, and I did this every time, but you don't, then that kind of makes you a weirdo to me. Like, that just makes you an uncoachable human. Every customer that went to leave the lot, I would be like, hey, real quick, pause. I got something for you. I'll be right back. I'd go inside. I'd come back out and I'd write, all right, I'm going to pick Rosemary. Let's act like Rosemary is a single mom. She's trying really hard. I don't know Rosemary. I'm not saying that's her, but let's say she's trying really hard. She's got 3 kids. They were in here with her. That's my family. That was my mom, right? And I would write something that was truly emotional and truly something amazing to Rosemary. I'd say, Rosemary, I see the kind of mom you are. I have a mom that's very important to me. And I watch you with your kids, and you are very, very special. Never give up. Keep going. You're amazing. And I love you. And if I can ever do anything for you, even outside the car business, I got your back for life. This is my cell phone number. Never forget how special that bond is that you have. That's truly amazing. And I would go over to Rosemary and I'd give her the card before she leaves. I'd say, read that when you get in the car. She'd get in her car as she's going to shop the other dealers, and she would read that. And you know what would happen is, honestly, it's the right thing to do. So my heart stays fulfilled. If you're helpless right now, get helpful. If you're helpless, like, man, I feel like down, start helping people. Start in your customer service experience, giving more to people. You never feel low. Some people say, Ian, you got all this energy. You know why? Because I'm giving to people all day long, bro. And my cup stays filled because then they go win, and I love people, and they're growing, and they're like, how do you get this energy? Number one, I work on it every day, but also if I ever feel helpless, I just go get helpful right away. And what that could be is a little longer conversation with somebody. It could be just a little bit of something that makes me feel good. Like, you know, I got people that call me all the time. They can't buy tickets to seminars or something, and I give them a 30-minute pep talk. That's 30 minutes of energy, man. That's 30 minutes of, I got a lot of shit to do down here, but I'm going to take the time to have that intentional conversation with that person if I can. So I want you to think about yours, but I want you to go to customer experience, and I want you to write that proactive. You probably have. And I want you to think about like companies like American Express. You know, when you have the black card, you have that other card. They do things for you that you can't even do yourself. They're thinking about things for you that you're like, oh my God, like this is mind blowing. Like this is amazing. Like, you know, my wife has the Sephora Beauty Insider. I think I see a lot of shit from that. But what they do is they send her all of these things before they come out. They stay in constant contact with her. A rep is calling her like twice a week. They're best friends every time they talk. Like my wife knows she's getting sold, but she thinks like, and honestly, this girl probably is like her best friend. They're like, they talk all the time. Like, they're like, oh, how's your family? How's your family? Yeah, what's up? What's coming out? Oh, that's amazing. And then it's like, then my wife's dropping $800. You know, it's like every day, I feel like I'm like, damn, dude, like, we're like, dude, you don't even wear makeup, but like for like fucking maybe like every 3 days or something. Like, what do we need all this for? I don't even think that she needs it. I think that she just loves the person. How many places do you go and you part ways because it's the person? The relationship, okay? These types of frequencies, man, if you take them into your life, they'll take you to places that money can't take you. A brand will get you into rooms that money can't get you into. It can't get you into. So how you create a brand is you create these little micro moments in people's lives that they want to invite you around to. Diego wanted to say one word. Diego, keep it to 30 seconds, and then I'll let you go for 30 seconds. What you got, my brother? Oh, my man, Diego. You're in Germany or some shit.
Yeah, I'm from Germany. I want to say I have literally no money, yeah. And Ian gave me such a great customer experience. He showed me his crew. He showed me Andy for 1 minute, and I felt like I can do everything. So this customer experience was so great. Even when I am broke, I did this credit card. I did this investment, even if I have no money. So this great customer experience made everything. So you don't have to have money. You can make it with customer experience. This was so great. And I literally cried because this was so amazing. Love you, brother.
That gives me the goosebumps. Hey, thank you, brother. Man, you're an amazing dude. And we're all dying to have somebody fill our cup up. And I think a lot of people just approach things transactionally versus transformationally. Like if I'm just a transactional person, if you're a transactional character, you typically don't make a lot of money, man. You know, like whether you're a billionaire and you call me or you're Diego, I treat you the same. And I got news for you. Leaders, they don't want to be treated differently than everybody else. They want to be treated the same. So if you're pitching B2B and you're like, hey, Mr. Guy, this and that, and I treat him just like Diego, like we're boys. Like I've known you for 100 years. I I treat people like I've known them forever. And in turn, I just get into places and do things that I don't think most people can, or they don't even try to do, man. When I was 18, I got an internship at a bank. And it was because I met this guy he was walking in my school to do these mock interviews, and I saw his suit, and I was just complimenting him. I was like, man, look at your suit. Look how good you look. My God, I've never seen anything like this. And he was like, who are you guys? And I started talking to him, and he goes, I'm doing these interviews. I'm volunteering here. I'm like, oh, let me show you where the classroom is. And it ended up being my classroom, and I walked him over, and I started just building value. And then he's doing these mock interviews where they just tell you if you interviewed right. I'm in this like little business school. And this guy calls my teacher after. He said, hey, send those twins down to the bank. And I go down there, and there's a whole long story to it. But the fast story is, he said, hey, man, I want to offer you guys a position to be interns. I'm going to pay for your college. I was like, I ain't going to college. And then I became a car salesman. But I was there for 2 years. And he said, you're going to work for 2 years directly for me. And you're going to go to every position in the bank. And I want your energy around. I want your mentality around. Like the way that you walked me to that. The way that you treated me. The way that you connected with me was amazing. And I was 18. All I knew was I watched people like my grandfather always give value first. Always give something first. They never really cared if they got something back, honestly. It was from their heart. So I give energy from the heart. I give connection from the heart. I'm not really looking for it. If it comes, I mean, that's super cool. But when my customers are around me, how I make them feel is not something that just rolls off my lip lightly. It's the shit that matters. It means everything to me. It means everything to me. Who's ever been down to the Lions Den? Raise your hand. Okay. Do you feel like something is so different here you've never experienced it anywhere else? Drop in the chat. You feel like it's like, I can't put it into words. It's a little different. Okay. I want you guys to write this word down. Magic. Okay. Selena this week, if you guys know Coach Selena, she's the most obsessed person I know, like next to Andy, about like customer experience. She's probably more obsessed than Andy in regards to that. But she went down to Disneyland and she paid $10,000 of her own money. We didn't ask her to do this. We did not compensate her for it. And she went down to Disneyland and paid $10,000 for them to walk them through their operations. You can buy this high ticket package where they'll show you how they create the customer service that they create. I've never been to Disneyland, but Selena's like, hey, the way they do all of these little micro things, they're known for all of this special sauce. And they'll give you the special sauce for 10 grand. And I had no clue she was doing this. She sends me a video from Disneyland. She's like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm spending some money on this. I'm going to bring back this stuff. I met with her yesterday on all these little micro things on how we can make our customer service experience better. We're known when you walk into Lions Den to have the best customer service ever. We expect that. We expect that. Customer experience. I didn't say customer service. That's all we focus on. Now, we'll fail. We're just like everybody else. We won't do as good. We're just like everybody else. We fuck up just like everybody else. And trust me, when we drop the ball on customer experience, there's nothing that could really throw me off other than when we make a mistake. But I also know this. Every time I've made a mistake or I've had a customer call me and say, hey, this wasn't good, and you talk about customer experience and this was bad by your team, that day is the worst day for me and it's the best day for me. Because your organization and your sales team and you are not always going to have perfect days, and you will mess up. And if you can get a chance to grow it and look in the mirror, and you're not a coward, and you'll say that's on me, and I'm gonna show you that I can change and you can change, then you're great. Customers that are mad that walk into your business, and here's how most people handle a mad customer. They handle a mad customer where they're like, this is customer service. Upset, reactive, and then they solve a problem. Upset, reactive, they solve a problem. Hey, you're upset. They react. They're like, they can kind of bark at them, and then they just solve like a problem. When you're proactive, you really want to truly understand what's happened. You really want to, number one, you want to try to solve that before. So you're always having meetings on like how to handle that type of tension. You're always having meetings on how to prevent that. I know Stephen King, he's on here. He didn't have that great of an experience with my sales team. He didn't, man. He had a problem, and I got on the phone with him, and then I started talking to him, and I shut down my whole morning. I was like, hey, dude, cancel everybody. And then I had to figure out how to go above and beyond for him. He has no clue what's going to happen next. He has no clue, because I'm going to blow his mind because I really care about it. But it gave me a chance to coach my team. It gave me a chance to coach myself. It gave me a chance to say, hey, guys, we had this experience. We need to train on this. We need to train on this. We need to train on this. This needs to be every day. And if you're a salesperson by yourself, you need to be looking. If you have a bad customer service score and you get a CSI that was horrible, what are you going to do about it? You're the fucking problem, dude. Listen, don't not call that customer Jasper James. You know what you do? You say, hey, man, you gave me a 700. And that means that I did bad. And listen, I apologize. Can you tell me the honest to God truth why you think that? And please don't lay it on me easy. Please lay it on me hard. Now, if they say you did this, you did this, you did this, if you're just a total reactive customer service person, you're gonna be like, nah, blah, blah, blah. Your mind's not even, you're fixed minded. You can't even hear what they're saying. Then don't call them, dude. Just stay where you're at. But if you're a person that literally like goes, hey, I want to know, you do want to know, and then you do want to fix it. I created new processes. After our seminars, we're sending out these surveys. We're going to read every single one. I've created a new process. Every time somebody buys something, we're creating new processes. Every day I'm creating a new process designed around a customer service experience. Sean, in our school community, if you're not in our school community, Sean dropped the link. I've given more value in there than I've ever given anywhere because I'm all about creating those guys to be total warriors. Sean dropped the link in there. He'll drop it. But Sean, his entire job, it didn't even exist. I said, Sean, he moved down here and I said, your job is to be the customer service agent for these guys. So if they have a problem, let's figure out how to fix it. If they have a heartache, let's figure out how to fix it. If they're not growing, let's figure out how to fix it. If the process sucks, let's figure out how to fix it. We need you to sit down with Andy and send 100 personal messages a day to anybody who signs up for this. Every day, you're going to sit with Andy. We have to go through some new things to get new results. And all of them are designed around relationships. Guys, today you're going to walk by one relationships that can make you a millionaire. I swear. And you might not be that person yet, and you're going to miss that relationship. There's more millionaires in the world than you can ever imagine. There's more people in the world that need a problem solved than you can ever imagine. Stephen King is going to a new job. I think he's still on here. But he's a high-performing sales director that is just in the wrong spot. It's just the truth. And I'm like, dude, you need new relationships. But there's an owner on this call, because I know there's some high-powered owners. We got a billionaire on this call. I'll tell you, MB will, this guy will, maybe you'll hire him. But maybe Derek hires him. Maybe Jonathan hires him. But that guy could change a company overnight because he's so good at what he does. But here's the deal. If he doesn't have that relationship and he doesn't know how to go into that relationship and maximize that and add to it and grow it, then he could stay in the wrong company or with the wrong relationships or the wrong thing his entire life. And when he collides with that, his life changes. So I want you to think about that. Listen, you can write this down. Most salespeople are one-night stand type of salespeople. Then there's the dating salespeople. They'll follow up here and there. And then there's the marriage philosophy salespeople. Jared, we are the marriage philosophy salespeople. Liam, we are the marriage philosophy salespeople. That means when I'm sitting with you, I'm like, man, you're never buying a car anywhere else. I'm just going to tell you. You know why? Because I'm going to do everything to over-deliver for you. And when I do, I want to earn your right to be with you forever, okay? And what I do there, and that's what we teach in the Elite Sales University, right on the side, in the chat. We teach this stuff all weekend. I do calls on Sundays where you can get with me and we answer all your questions on Sundays, way deeper than this. And I just saw that it's a new thing that I need to get closer with some of you. So it allows me to actually talk and grow. But you got to think of this marriage philosophy, because if you're just dropping the client and then they don't matter after that, and then your follow-up stops after 2 weeks or 2 years, your follow-up shouldn't stop for years. Your follow-up shouldn't stop ever. If I'm trying to get a job, I have general managers that call me for a job all the time. They're like, hey, put me in one of those automotive groups. And then I tell them, hey, here's this guy's phone number. I watch general managers follow up 1 or 2 times. They're like, he wasn't the guy, man. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, oh, I called him twice. I'm like, dude, you're lame, dude. You're lame. You're lame. I would call his executive assistant first. I would do some research on him. I would send him a gift that nobody's ever sent him. I could spend $100. Just use your mind. I could go back and pull up a picture of him in this in a moment and frame it and write on it. I could do a lot of shit. I could do a lot of shit. By the way, if he ghosted me, I'd send him, you can go online to Amazon Prime. Here's what Selena does. She buys 1,000 cell phones on Amazon Prime, all old Nokia phones, And if you ghost her and you're a business, she sends you one of these phones and she says, hey, your phone must have broke. I sent you a new one. Call me back. Let's go. You know what they do? They're like, shit, man, that girl's good. All right, if you're a manager, you forgot how to follow up a lot of the times. If you did that, who do you think is qualified to train the sales team? The guy that follows up the most, dork. Come on, man. Don't be an idiot. Did you lose the sauce? Yeah, some of you did. Okay, get the damn sauce back. The sauce is in the energy. The sauce is in the follow-up. The sauce is in the experience. All the money that you're looking for, it's all in this shit. Fuck the word tracks. Screw anything else that you've ever been taught. If you make people feel like they've never felt before, they'll be with you for longer than they've ever been, forever. And I'm more interested in that than a sell. Because if I think that way, they'll be with me forever and they won't be able to buy anywhere. Because they'll be like, dude, this dude Ian's is good. And if I put them on social media and I write something like I've taught you guys in my branding and marketing strategy, and I said, hey, Diego, and I write something really amazing about Diego. I'm like, this guy's from Germany. He's doing this. He's doing that. And I write that out and I make him feel another way in front of his friends. And then I tag him. I don't need to ask for referrals. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really think asking for referrals is such a thing anymore. Because if you can tag them on Facebook and then you do likes to leads, which is in the branding course, which is in School University, which is in Project 500, you go to likes to leads and you just deploy that one strategy, you never have to ask for a referral. Okay, I'm all about asking for referrals, guys. So don't just can your referral strategy, but just think, use your referral strategy and use the likes to leads strategy and use the customer experience strategy. A VIP customer will always send you the most customers. I just got the phone with a guy named Jason Miller, and he goes, Ian, this business owner needs you, man. He's the best business owner ever. You guys are going to vibe together. Well, because I treated him so good, it's duplicated an experience that he takes, and he's like, hey, this is your guy. He's just bringing people into me, bringing people into me, bringing people into me, bringing people in. We're changing. We're growing. They're becoming results. All right, we've created a 9-figure business, hundreds of thousands of salespeople training. Over 1 million people training, thousands of companies. How? One experience. They had an experience. They felt like they grew. Then they stayed around. Those testimonials spread. Then they grown. Then they've hit another level. I mean, I've had experiences with all of you. Ethel came down in Utah and I said, hey, anybody who wants to work out with me? I'm in Utah. Come on over to my school community. Ethel shows up. I'm like, what's up? Who are you? And she's like, I'm Ethel. She's like, looks a little nervous because she's in a fucking meathead gym with like 30 Elliots, and we're like just running around like she just entered the lion's cage. And we run up, and what do, Ethel? We give you a bunch of love. We're like, hey, don't be nervous. It's all good. We're gonna live together. We're gonna grow together, and we got your back. Me and her, she's like our sister down there. You know what I'm saying? We love each other. Drew Lopez, you came down here, man. I met you out front of the seminar. I didn't even have you come down here, I don't think. And then I was like, I started to get to know you. I'm like, hey, bro, let's hit the gym together. Let's go right now. Like, let's go do it. Let's do it this morning. Let's do it tomorrow. I'm searching to create experiences within people. I'm searching to do things that other people aren't doing with people. I'm searching to create magic within people. I'm searching to create something that nobody else ever has because most of these motherfuckers don't care. They don't care. They only care about the paycheck in front of them. That's why they never get the relationships. I care about the relationships, not the paycheck. You care about the paycheck, not the relationship. It's funny because the relationships lead to the paycheck, not the other way around. So today, what are you going to do? You got to figure out how to add value. You got to figure out how to make people feel special. You got to figure out how, like, if you're in solar and you're going to their house at 7 o'clock and you're not offering them dinner, you're a dumbass. Dumbass. Like on that Billy Madison thing. Like, maybe that's not good customer service calling you guys a dumbass, but like our brand, we call people out. So I figure people just kind of know what to expect from us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like we created a brand off of authenticity, really who we are. And for a long time, we tried to be somebody else. And we were very, like, if you were with us 4 years ago, we were very different because we weren't us. And we didn't really know how to navigate being our own selves. And then once we started becoming ourselves, we started attracting everybody that we wanted. Crazy. And we had companies cancel, and they were like, I don't like that you talk about fitness. I'm like, man, you know what? Actually, yesterday, guys, this is a very sad story, and this is something good to end on because it should make you think about like your next level. But this guy cancels our training on a company. He said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna cancel. I don't like that you guys talk about fitness." And I'm like honestly, on your calls, on his calls, I stopped being who I really was. I was like, "Man, I'll just stop talking about it a little bit." And I'm not like you guys see me talk about it a little bit, but I'm not like pounding your face in with it. But it's important because honestly, if you die, what happens? If you don't become healthy, what happens? If that changes, it's more important than your money right now. But people don't want to talk about that. So we will. We will. And in order to create something life-changing, you're going to have the hard conversations people don't want to have. You know what I mean? But it was really sad. The other day, this guy, they canceled the training for health, passed away. Passed away. I watched his wife and kids, swear to God, they don't have a dad. The dad worked 40 years in the car business and gave his life to it. He was very much out of shape. And man, this guy actually, in the automotive group that this happened in, there was like 10 stores and he was one of the general managers and he's the one that got me in. And then like they signed up and we're growing, we're learning. The people love it. The people are coming down, buying tickets on their own. And then one day he just is all crapped out. And he's like, I don't want you to talk about that no more. And I'm like, well, bro, I just don't know how I can help you then. Like, I'm going to always talk about the mentality, the energy and those sort of things. He's like, I don't like it. I'm canceling. I'm like, okay, bro. Good luck, man. I'll pray for you. That mentality is not going to win in life. I guarantee you that. And he passed away, man. Fuck. And I feel really guilty because I think about like I should have probably got on a plane right there and flew down to him and just completely fucking lit his world on fire. I should have completely just done something different to save that guy's life. And my brain was thinking more about maybe the canceling and the other shit. Then like this guy's lost and he doesn't know what he's saying. And I didn't have the hard conversation with him. I just said, hey, yeah, good luck, man. Because I also know I try not to waste my energy on certain things. But now I regret that a little bit. So I'm gonna always have those hard conversations. I think you have to too. You have to stay true to who you are. You have to be a more impactful version of yourself. I think if everybody got off of this Zoom and played with their hearts a little bit more, elevated their experience a little bit more, I think that you would start to just, attract business. It's crazy. And it sounds weird, but I think you just start to attract business and you start to attract the relationships that you're looking for. I think when you're just all about yourself and all about your paycheck, you don't get what you're looking for. Sean Watson and Adam, they work for us now. And honestly, I don't even still have a position for them. I didn't even really know how to bring them on my team. Like I was like, we don't really have something for you guys right now. You haven't like I was confused, but they were adding so much value to my life that I was like, Adam kind of took my soul and then I bought him an apartment or a house. And then I was like, all right, man, I'm going to move you into this house and then I'll figure out what to pay you and you can live here and then we'll figure it out in a couple months. I don't really know where this thing is going, but I like you. You like me. I feel better when I'm with you. So I want you close to us. And, our whole team likes you. And then like, we don't know where that's going. Like, so those relationships are in a lot of that love that you're not giving people. And if you're not giving your customers love, people are like, that's weird. I don't want to love my customers. I don't know, man. You're weird to me. Like the fact that you think that is weird. The fact that you operate like that is weird. Like, I don't know, man. I love talking to Greg. I love talking to guys on here like Junior. I got the phone with him and, he's a business coach and he coaches in Turks and Caicos or some shit. And that dude had me on. I think I said it wrong, so he's laughing, but it's somewhere out there in the islands. He's like, I'm from the islands, man. And he's like, I don't care, Ian. I'll sign up on anything you want. Just let's win together. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I love this guy. And he's like, I just want to attack and grow. And I'll be on all the calls. And I'm like, dude, I love this. Who is this guy? I can't wait to meet this guy. And man, he just had like a really lighthearted caring about him. Like I know me and him are going to grow together and I really care that he grows and hits the next level. Me and Liam, like we do a lot of stuff together. I really care that he grows and hits the next level. All of you guys. So today, think about one thing. How can you bring magic into your client's life? Magic. That's your goal every time. How do I bring magic? Think about a relationship. How do I bring magic? Think about your wife. How do I bring some magic into this deal? Think about your friends. How do I bring some magic into this deal? Think about your colleagues. How do I bring some magic into this deal? Some of you have a manager right now and you don't understand like what managers and leaders go through. You're like, oh man, it should be easier for them. They make more money. They make this. Dude, trust me, there's probably every day that I just kind of wish I stayed in a little bit more of a sales role and didn't take on a lot of the things I take on. And some people have no clue what I do behind the scenes. They have no clue. Okay. And same with your leaders. How do you go give them more value and more love? I'll walk up to them and hug them and say, hey, bro, thanks for I text Andy and Jackie like 3-4 times a week. And I'm like, hey, thanks for sharing all this pressure. Thanks for creating all this stuff. Thanks for working hard. I know you guys are doing things I've never heard of. I know you guys are working harder than you've ever worked. Hey, I'll come over. I'll cook for them. I'll come over and give some extra value to them. I'll come over there and give some extra love to them. Your employees, if you're a leader, how do you give extra value to them? How do you do something for them? Have you hit the gym with them this week? Have you noticed a guy that hasn't sold a car this month and you're going to go spend some extra time with them? And you're like, hey, man, listen, instead of you closing your next deal, I want you to up them, and I'm going to handle this top to bottom. Actually, I'm Liam. I'm the general manager. I'm going to the next test drive with you. Me and you are going to sell this thing top to bottom. I got you. Hey, guys, sometimes people just need people to believe in them. Sometimes people just need a little extra love. Sometimes people just need that for that extra breakthrough. So I've got 2 things coming up in my school community that you can see the link to on Thursday. We've got a call with Andy in that call. It's just for that school community. It's like $90. Honestly, he gets it. He's never been more fired up about something recently. He's in there every day commenting. He's in there every day doing coaching because we're just building it to be, it's going to be our next thing. We're going to probably move a lot of stuff to it, most of our coaching to it. And it's just badass. Like we're growing like a total family in there. It's like, you want to talk about being around the right people, get in there and see if you don't create friends for life. Get in there and see if like 15 or 20 of you guys that see you guys in the school community, you guys are all best friends. It's really cool. And Andy never promised you guys to do a call. He promised to do 1 call a month in school. And he's doing like 3 a month, 4 a month. He just called me and said, I want to do another one. That questions and answers call he had last week. He was so fired up about it. He's like, I want to do that like every week. And I'm like, bro, you still have to run a company, dog. Like you get shiny object syndrome. He's like, let's go all in. I'm like, bro, chill out. Okay. So anyways, guys, thank you. Hey, and if I haven't told you this, I really appreciate you guys being customers of ours. I really appreciate you guys showing up on these calls. I really appreciate you guys trying to pursue excellence in a world that's kind of given up on a lot of these things. I really feel like there's going to be a shift in the world. And if we can all stay together, we can grow, we can help each other make money, we can help each other become better, we can help each other become better leaders. Like where we're going, I know where I'm going. I know where some of you are going. I know some of you are coming with me. I know some of you are providing so much value to my life. I don't forget your name. You know, the Jude Brownings that are guys on here this call, the Peters, I see you in school every day. I see Junior in school. I see Kareen everywhere. So guys, I noticed that shit. And we got some really cool things coming up. I literally have a meeting all day today about how to increase our customer experience, how to do more for you guys, how to serve more. And like, what does that mean? How do we do it? Sometimes you feel like you're just capped out and then you get these new thoughts. And Selena went out and got new information like I'm giving to you maybe today. And we're going to just totally execute on it. So I hope that you see the change in our hearts of our next level of our customer service. I hope you can see that. And thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys doing this with us. And let's kick some ass. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me. I'm going to put my cell phone number in the chat. 480-780-2203, 480. Hold on. 480-780-2203. Oh, by the way, last announcement. We have a couples mastermind coming up. One of the things that I know most people struggle with in business is being in a relationship. And there's some younger people on here, so you don't understand what I'm talking about. But when you're a hard charger and you have a wife and you're a husband and you're growing, it's hard to build that together. It is very much probably one of the biggest challenges. So Andy and Jackie have a couples mastermind that's coming up that you can be part of, that you can bring your wife into. If you're growing without your significant other and they're not growing, that can actually be bad for you. It could actually hinder you. So like, I'm always trying to get my wife around Jackie. She's always spending time around here. I can tell my wife a lot of stuff. But then when Jackie says it, it's like, oh yeah, I know totally. And I'm like, I said that shit. But then I have to calm my ego down and understand that I'm getting the result that I want by being like putting her in those rooms. So if you text me and you want to come to the couples mastermind, there is no seats left. It's sold out, but I'll always make 1 or 2 seats. I always break the rules. So there's 1 or 2, there's like 2 seats left. So you can message me right there. It's super important to bring your families together. We got Patrick Bet-David coming up. That's going to be really cool because that's Andy's mentor. He only speaks on 4 stages outside of his company a year. He's going to be with us. That moment, I physically saw Andy go into a conference and come out a different human. Like literally, like go back to his videos 4 years ago. And then if you look, it was like December 2019. You saw this new Andy emerge in like January. And that's because he went to it at the end of the year. And like the belief changed overnight. Listen to what I'm going to say. Invite all new experiences. All new experiences. Because it's one new experience that can light up everything. Invite all new experiences, because if it's one experience that can light up everything and send you into a new frame of thinking. Some of you've never had a whole lot of new experiences. So sometimes you feel like, man, there's nothing that's going to change for me. I'm always going to be depressed. I'm always going to think like this. I'm never going to hit this. No, dude, you're just around yourself too much. You know what I'm saying? You live with you. But when we can get into your brain and really get close and really get to know each other, that's where we really hit new levels, man. So I'm all for virtual. That's going to be the stuff you have to train on every day. But I would really love to see some of you at Patrick but David. Also, last thing, free, FREE. Now, some of you guys need to learn how to pay for some bigger shit, because that's when your identity is going to change. But if some of you just wait for the free shit, you're like, I want a big life, but you won't spend like 1,000. You know, you won't spend like 2,000. I'd spend like everything I got. But I got some free shit, and this free shit's going to be amazing. January 14th or June 14th, 15th, and 16th, Tony Robbins and Dean Gracioso are doing a training. And we'll send it out to our entire network. You can watch it like if you're like, I see a guy in Morocco. You can watch it in Morocco, and it's free. And you can get on it. We've made it free to everybody. You can get on it. It's 3 days, 2 or 3 hours a day. It's going to be fire. If you're close to Phoenix, if you want to come down and watch with us, if you want to come down and hit the gym with me, you can come down and hit the gym with me, work out with me, and grow with me for those 3 days. And we'll be doing that for 3 days. So you'll see a link. Just hit your email. Just look for, you can probably go type in Tony Robbins and Dean. I think we probably dropped it already. But I'll tell you next Twin Tuesday where that's at. I'll drop it in the school community where you can sign up. And then always, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I really, truly appreciate you guys. Have a good day.